Hello, we are at the Fly Carolina office in Monroe, and today Alex is going to take us through setting up the FMX Redbird to do your own instrument approaches and holds without a CFI. So as of last year in 2018, the FAA changed the rules so we no longer need a CFI to do instrument approaches for purposes of logging currency. And this is just a tutorial for people who are already familiar with flying the Redbird, but who have not set it up and set weather and emergency conditions and things like that. So we're just gonna start from powering the machine up and walk all the way through the steps to where you can take off in the airplane. So Alex, show us how to turn the power on.
So back here, the power strip, usually by the time you shut it off, you want this off as well. So we're gonna turn this guy on. So that's right here. And then once that is on, now there's a power button here. And we're gonna wanna turn that on right there.
So it's a small button.
Very small.
Okay.
It's next to looks like a refresh button here. It's just to the left of it.
Okay.
And now the computer will start to boot out.
Okay, so we'll need to first turn on the Wi-Fi network. The iPad needs to connect to the Redbird's Wi-Fi router in order for the software to work.
Which that would be, so settings, Wi-Fi, and then I guess this will be recorded anyway.
Yeah, so then we'll do the Redbird Navigator. Now the password is going to be Navigator123. That's the default password for all Redbirds. Once you're connected to the Redbird Wi-Fi network, you then go to your browser to sim.redbirdflight.com.
Yeah.
And again, after a few minutes, the machine's still booting up. And once we get fully booted up, that website will become available. So right now it's just going to spin and not load anything.
That's the few minutes.
So we're waiting. Windows is booting up.
And just so you're aware as well, it could give you it will give you an error being like, oh, we can't connect. But you just keep waiting, and once it actually does boot up, it will actually connect.
So what, 3 or 4 minutes, and now the software is up. So
yeah, just gotta be patient.
So once the Navigator's software is available, that means that we are connected to the Redbird, and sort of take us from here into the simulator and sort of show us how to get a flight set up.
Okay, ready?
Yep. So just sort of talk us through the steps you're going to take.
So you start off with the dispatch, and then scroll to the bottom, and we want to do a free flight. We're going to say free flight. So right here on the bottom 4, free flight's right there. And you pick your airport, so press on airports. Now you can do any airport you want. I mean, I'm just going to do Monroe, which is KEQY. Monroe Regional pops up here. Press on it, and then the green arrow, you want to go to it. So, and then you can pick the runway. You can start in the air, distance from, altitude, airspeed. Just normal, simple menus. And you can put in wind and heading and all that. But we're just going to start on the ground runway. We'll say 23. And green arrow. And now it will ask for wind. You can change whatever direction you want. Probably favoring 2-3. And then put a speed, whatever you want. Could be no wind, some wind, little gusts. Whether or not there's turbulence or not. And then there's a few more menus of whether or not you want the time of day, when it is, at night, dawn or dusk. Visibility, your cloud coverage. So if you're doing instrument stuff, you're going to want to have overcast, most likely, just whatever to get you into the clouds. The base of the clouds, that's AGL, don't forget that. Whether or not there's rain or snow, and how intense the rain is. So I'm just going to put day. Good visibility and sky clear, just for sake of showing this. And we'll start the flight. And you can have motion system on or off. In this case, I'm going to have it off, just for showing this. And then you just start flight, and you can change it to on or off. So we'll start flight with motion off, and now it's going to load. And it should, I think it takes still a little bit. As that's loading, the screen on here will change to a flight in progress, and then you can go to the inch. So now it's paused. Here's your pause. You can unpause it. So now it's unpaused. Just be aware that this will keep running even when you do pause it.
So the hops time is going to be running whether it's paused or not paused?
Yeah, you'd have to end the flight for it to actually stop.
Okay, and what are ways to end the flight?
Right here on your menu. If you just press end here, that'll end the flight as well.
Okay.
You just want to be able to end the flight because whether or not you crash, hit end flight, or end here, it's going to end the flight, and you'll have to redo the entire flight, which does take time. So just be aware of that. As well, there is the emergency stop there. That's actually kind of important. You want to know what that is just in case. But yeah, you would start it just like everything else. And if you want to change your scenarios, you launch instructor station on here. And you can change where the plane is at. On the bottom, you can change the weather, your position, any failures. Failures is a big one. Like you can fail your airspeed indicator. You can fail just about anything. You can fail your engines, your GPS, nav 1 or 2. There's an entire menu. You can change your weight and balance and your fuel while you're flying, the time of day, and again, your weather. So like if you want to you decide, hey, I want to circle land, instead of practicing like a missed approach, you decide you want to circle land, you can change the weather if you're still on your approach. Anything else?
So I think a typical scenario is you're flying an approach, you want to go missed, and then you want to restart the approach.
Yeah, restart
from a
and then
certain
you actually
location.
want to. So if you weren't already on there, it's the instructor station. You go to there, and then you would just change position. You can either enter nav aid, waypoint, or you could just go to map. And so you can click a point anywhere on the map where you want to be, and then click location, reposition, and then click on there, go, and then a distance from, radial from this reference point that I clicked on. You can change your distance to however many miles. If you clicked on that point, it's probably just going to stay at 0. Keep in mind your altitude though, especially if you're doing approaches. Let's say you try and bring yourself back to, say, the initial approach fix of an approach or the missed approach fix. It'd be advised to have your altitude either at that altitude or above if you want to practice holding and descending as you hold down into your initial approach fix. And your airspeed is going to be important in this as well. You don't want to stall when you first actually unpause the sim to this new location. And you can change your heading as well. So let's say you want to practice actually entering holds, which if you're doing a refresher course for yourself anyway, you want to practice holds. Change your heading around from this point, and then you can practice teardrop, parallel, or direct, or special direct if you know that.
Okay.
Yeah, once you've landed, or once you've ended your flight, whether it was being paused in the air or whatnot, you can pause it, you don't have to. But when you do end your flight, no matter what, the first thing you want to do is record the hops time, or the hops time on here. Because if you don't, you're going to have to turn it back on and find it, which is not going to be very fun. So record this, and once you do that, then you can just hit end either on here or on your iPad. It doesn't matter which one. And then that'll end the flight for you. Back here when it is moving. And then I believe you just press this back. Okay, so yeah, in case you do have trouble turning on the computers or you're just not sure and you don't want to fire anything, there is a basic start procedure for the computer, not the software, if you need that, and shutdown as well. But yeah, logging your flight, make sure you log the hops when you start, because it could be different. There could be gaps, and you don't want to. If you forget to do this, you could be overcharged. So be aware to log the hops when you start, and log the hops when you end. And then just write the total time, your name, and date.